And gentlemen, this is attorney Sharp Raleigh from the Sharp Raleigh Law Group, and we are going to give you an overview how the citizenship interview is conducted, and we're going to use a little bit some of the videos that has been published by the USCIS. First of all, before you even reach the point of the interview, the first step is of course to go to prepare your N400 application, which we have another video. We are going to post the link down on this YouTube, how to prepare the N400, and you meet the requirements of course. And the next step of now is, once you get all this done, there will be an interview. This is mandatory. There's no way out of that. That interview is more to see how you're going to perform, and if you pass the civic test, English test, and of course if you have other issues, it's very important that you need deal with that. So since we have a very good video from the USCIS, we're going to use that, and this is being used for fair use, government public domain, and you can watch it. Hopefully it will help and guide you how it works there. Unfortunately, sometimes they are not as nice as this, but hopefully they will be nice like in the video. See here, here we go. We're going to rewind a little bit, and then so here we're going to put a pause, because usually when you go like that, if you have an attorney by your side, the attorney will also accompany you, sitting in these images was taken from the USCIS. It seems it was a real office with actors playing, but at the end of the day, if you have an issue, criminal issue on your case, or you have stayed outside for too long, you might want to have an interview accompany you, because it might not be as nice as you're seeing on this video. Before the interview, the officer will swear you in, as you can see, and this is not the swearing to become a citizen. This is a swearing just for the interview. So let's move on to the next steps. So this is well, of course, this is done by the USCIS. It seems pretty nice and all easy, but unfortunately, when you go there, things have been a little bit difficult. So we'll go back now forward a little bit and go, and I will analyze as we go the video. Okay, very good point. Especially when you don't understand something, it is recommended that you ask for an explanation, and if you have an attorney with you, the attorney might be able to help in the process. But again, the citizenship interview is pretty easy. You don't really need an attorney with you, except if you have some kind of criminal background issues, or you have overstayed outside. I repeat that, if you have overstayed outside or have criminal background issues, I highly recommend having an attorney by your side. Okay, here we go now. This is another thing that they always ask that question. Do you want to legally change your name? Technically, you cannot, depending on the USCIS office you are dealing with. Some USCIS office, they have judges right there, so they can change your name. Otherwise, you will have to go with the name you already have, unless you have a court order with you on changing your name. So be careful on that, because that question is there, but sometimes they are not able to do it. Good point. You always have to bring all those documents with you. Missing those documents can delay your case, or even the interview can be rescheduled. So you have to have your green card, your all your documents from the court if you had a criminal issue, and other documents that you need to prove your passport. Of course, all the passport, even the one that are expired. Well, this is a quick check. Usually it takes longer because they will check if you had any time, especially if you travel a lot, they will check all the time departure and arrival. And now, if you're traveling to countries like certain countries that are state sponsored, things are going to be a little bit rough, more rough. So be ready for that. Okay, here this is another important point. If you're filing under the 5 years, you have only one person at the interview. But if you're filing under the 3 years based on marriage, you might want to have your spouse there because they will question your marriage. So be ready for that. Major, because many times people think that the USCIS doesn't know how many times they are traveling. The truth, they have it already recorded, so you better tell the truth. So let's continue with the video. As you can see here, they're talking about your trips outside, past marriages, membership in any organization, problems with the law. Those are all questions. Military service, support of the United States government, and it will go on all those questions. If any of them is a problem, for example, if you didn't register for the registration for the military, you might have issues you have to explain, and of course you have to support the U.S. Constitution and government. And if you have any problem with the law, it will be you will have to explain. So we are going to forward a little bit here. Well, lying to the government, that's a big question. Even a mistake can be interpreted as a lie. So you better be careful. If you don't remember something, it's better say you don't remember rather than make it up. Very important point here. Yeah. The signature that you are doing is basically for two things. One, there will be two signatures usually. One will be, of course, the application itself, and also if the officer did any correction. And don't panic if they're writing in red. They will ask you to sign on the number of corrections done. Okay, now the best part is the easy part, usually the part where they test your English, and of course you need to know all your 100 questions. They will ask you 10 question, and out of which you have to get 6 right. So let's see how this video explained that. Writing text is important too, because even though people think it's a writing text is easy, it's not that obvious sometimes for some people just to write simple sentences. So be ready for that. And here they, after reviewing the form, they will probably approve you after you pass the test. And the test, you know it, you will get it. And it's usually, well, like I was mentioning, you must get 6 out of 10 on that, and you have to pass the test. So once you pass the test, then yeah, feel free to ask the officer to repeat, but don't be irritating. But you should ask if you don't understand the question. Is better than answering a wrong question, a wrong answer. So it goes on like that, and after that, they will ask probably that you write a sentence, and the officer, and if you pass, that means you pass the test, but doesn't mean you pass the other stuff. So if you go here and you have to read a sentence too. Yeah. Okay, this is an example, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. They don't really ask you to write that much sometimes, but it's not the same question you're going to get. So there can be any sentence that will be coming. Well, if that means basically they're approving your application, and and you can move forward on your case, and hopefully an oath date will come to you. Now, them. So basically, what happened? The oath will be the final step. Okay, so after that, then what you will have to do is, of course, go for your oath date, and this is here. You have an oath. It's pretty nice. It's sometimes some people do get it on the same day, by the way, but it's not rare. Well, luckily, last week we were able to get one of those like a 1 week later, but it's not always like that. So be ready to wait a little bit, depending which region or county you are in. So congratulations, if you reach that level, you get your citizenship certificate, you are a United States citizen. At this point, you can also apply for your passport there, or take your citizenship certificate, go to the post office and apply for your passport. Excuse me. So bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, what we are talking here is just a an overview of how the nationalization interview is goes on. And this by the way was published by the USCIS, so it's pretty much in public domain, and I'm using that for fair use for educational purposes only. But now, the issues that we have, if you have any kind of problems with the law, or you have any kinds of issues of overstaying more than 6 months in one time outside, then you might want to have an attorney by your side. Also, recently we have been seeing a lot of people who got their green card under employment, where they go back in their cases prior to even the green card and check on their cases. So if you got your employment to a company, and the company is not that such a great company, it's recommended to have an attorney by your side. I wish all of you good luck, and this is attorney Shaparali for basically how the naturalization interview process goes on, and we hope that was helpful to you, and hopefully we'll be back after those messages. And anything I'm telling you again is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions.